Well, what we did recently, just taken on some new staff, and one of them is a salesperson from a very conservative background. He's been working for many years in a corporate background, and everything is very rigorous and done to the letter and done on letterheads and done correctly. And so I decided to stretch him. And I came up with a marketing plan where we're actually going to send out a series of letters to as many potential clients as we can. We took on a new agency for a new product, which is a well-known brand in
so
New
like
Zealand.
a direct mail letter to let people know?
Direct mail letter,
Yep.
exactly. And our focus is re-establishing this brand, which has been allowed to die off in the last 10 years.
Okay.
And we're going to put it back on the market. So it's a brand that's familiar, but we want to get people to take notice.
So this is a brand was once working in the past,
Yep.
died down. You guys bought the agency for it. Now you're using direct mail and your new sales guy to get it up and running in the marketplace.
That's right.
Wow.
This brand had something like 80% market share in New Zealand 10 years ago.
Okay.
When we took it over, it's running around about 8% market share.
Wow.
So we're heading back up for 80% market share again.
Brilliant.
We did the classic thing at the beginning of the year. We had a big 3-page feature article in the magazine that goes to the whole electrical industry, and we thought we'd at least get a 20% response out of that. The result we got out of that for a cost of probably $8,000-9,000 would be less than 10%.
Wow.
We continued on with half-page ads following on from this article for another 4 issues.
Really?
And money we paid on that got us really nowhere.
Yeah, you know, I just want to stop that for a second because that happens so much. I hear that so much. You know, people, they get persuaded to do it the way it's always been done and be safe and spend that extra money and make it look good, because you got to make things look good and it's got to be flashy and it's got to be in the magazines and stuff. But end of the story, you spent probably best part of how much?
Probably about 14,000.
14,000, and it probably resulted you
Nothing.
So many business owners do this, and this is why I really want you to pay attention to what Mark's going to say next, because this flips marketing. It's not normal, but as we said at the start of this third one, it's about standing out and doing things different. So thanks for sharing the fact that it didn't work and now what you did to make it work.
So my next trick was to go down the direct mail out track, and the problem you've got with direct mail outs is that you send them out in the classic piece of white paper into a white envelope with a computer generated label stuck on it, and it's usually a postpaid envelope. And I know when I clear my mail that I pick these things out and they go straight in the bin. I just don't even bother to open them. And there's no point sending that out at great expense. You've got to make it different. You've got to make people want to open it. So I first of all came up with a letter, which I went through and I put it in front of Andreas and he had a look at it. It's not on a letterhead. It is written in a font which looks as though it's been handwritten. I've got a yellow highlight pen all the way through the letter highlighting key points. In fact, if you actually just read the highlights, you get the message.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So, but it's all the way through it.
It's good.
There's a nice big offer in big bold letters towards the end of the letter, and I think there's about 4 PSs at the end of it. You've got a PS and a PPS and a PPPS and so on. And it's been interesting watching people read it, because I've handed it around to a number of people and said, well, just read this. And the number of people who read the first 3 or 4 lines, then flip the back and read all the PSs, and then go through and read all the highlights, and then they start reading it.
Wow.
And I think that's one of the things that people like Bill Glazer tell you you've got to do. But to actually do it and watch it happening is another thing. So we did this, and I sent a copy to my sales manager, and he had a look at it, and oh no, you can't do that. That's off the wall. You know, that's not the way you write letters to people. And I said, well, that's the way we're doing it. So he thought I was nuts, and so I said, well, okay. Now I want to put this on coloured paper. What colour paper should I put it on? He said, oh, pink. So we did it on pink paper, and he never expected me to actually do that.
Brilliant.
So it's on pink paper with yellow highlighting all the way through it. It's got a nice big bold offer in the middle of 50% discount on the first order of this product.
Brilliant.
With a final date, so they have to do it by the end of the year. We have a little tag which we stick on there, which is the sort of tag that accountants use to highlight places in a document. So we put one of those in there just to really draw their attention to it. We then fold that up and we put it into an envelope. Now the envelope is a deeper pink. It's a really bright pink. It stands out. We've got a nice big orange sticker which we put where the stamps go, and we put the stamps sort of hickledy-pickledy, 2 stamps, hickledy-pickledy onto this orange sticker, so you can't miss the fact that they're not on there nice and orderly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hand write the person's address with a gold pen, so it's actually quite hard to read. I thought we might get into trouble with the post office doing it that way, but they've all been delivered, so that's
Brilliant.
okay. And then we throw in a cappuccino sachet as well, and we just send them out to people. And the feedback we've had has been phenomenal. I have had one person who really spat the dummy and grizzled.
But that's brilliant as well.
It's still sitting on the corner of his desk.
Yeah.
It's been there for 4 weeks.
Exactly.
And you walk in his office and it's still there. And he's really offended by it.
And the real key to direct mail and doing what you're doing, why it's so successful, is you're getting a yes or a no.
Oh yeah.
And that's, you're not getting it in the bin and there's nothing. It's a yes or a no, and you actually know where you are, which is fantastic. So, you know, these are the types of things that we teach in our Insider Marketing Club as well, like the real essence of good direct response mail. And if you need to get a message to your marketplace right now, I would suggest, you know, really looking hard at using direct mail and taking some of the things that Mark shared with you in this video to actually implement your own campaign. So let's talk about results, because I know I have this piece of paper in my hand here, and this is actually an order. And the funny thing is, on this order, the guy has put pink letter special.
That's right.
So you've actually got an order here, you know, for over a couple of grand, and he's put the.
He bought 2 units which are the same, and one of them he's got the standard discount on,
Wow.
and the other one he's got our special 50%, and he's highlighted that and he's put it in as 2 separate lines. And this is a company that I've been working with for probably 5 years. This is the first order that they have placed, and it's the pink letter that pushed them over the edge.
That's fantastic.
And we've spoken to a lot of people out in the field. They've all laughed about the letter. They're all commenting about it. My opposition companies are ringing me up and talking about it, because they've been shown it as well. The salesman was talking to over in the West Coast just this morning, said to him that he'd got a copy of the letter, and because of the letter, he's now going to give us all his orders. So
wow.
it's made him take more interest.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome though? You know, like when you're prepared to stand out, do something different, take a risk. Now your competition are thinking, you know, I can't be working probably, but under the radar, this thing will start sucking orders into your business, and all of a sudden that market share is going to go back up pretty quickly because you're doing things different. We're
finding, like, the people that have placed this order today, talking to him, he actually got the letter complete, opened it himself. In his company, the office girls open the letters, vet them and throw them away, so he doesn't get much. This one looked so different, they thought it was personal, so they actually gave him the whole thing. Another person we spoke to, the letter arrived at his home, and his wife saw it, grabbed it, and stood over him while he opened it.
He thought it was a lovely touch.
She thought it was something that shouldn't have been there.
That's brilliant.
So we're getting a lot of stories like that, but it's actually created a lot of hilarity in the industry.
But here's the difference as well. What did that letter cost you to put together?
Virtually nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So you spent some money on probably educating yourself on how to do it.
Yeah.
Then you put the letter together. Nowhere near the 14 grand that you spent on your magazines and your flashy stuff that you did at the start. But already you've netted, you know, a $2,000 order and more orders likely to come.
Oh, definitely.
Plus you've created, and this is what I love about direct response marketing that is so always forgotten, because we as direct response marketers, we don't like to talk about it. But it's actually creating you a brand recognition.
That's right.
Your next campaign, people are going to want to look for it. Now, this is the cool thing about when you do this, and this is the momentum you can create. The next marketing campaign and the next campaign you do, people will look for what you're doing. They'll be eager to get your information because you're different in the marketplace. Now, you can't tell me no yellow page ad or no flashy magazine ad can create that.
No.
You can create that with direct response, and the more you do it, and I know the guys in our marketing club that are doing this, the more they do it, the more orders they get, and the more byproduct of a brand recognition that they start creating just from simple direct mail.
That's right. We have a plan. We're doing this once a month over a period of 12 months.
Mm.
So there's actually going to be a 12 in the sequence, and then we'll look at it from there on. So we're already planning. We've got our second letter all set to go.
Hey Mark, this has been fantastic. I know we could talk for ages. I'm excited about the results you're getting. I really appreciate your time, and I appreciate the fact that you're prepared to come along and share with the members, but also with people that might potentially looking at our club. Is there anything you'd like to finish with?
Well, I think in this campaign, it was a case of being as radical as we could to make sure that people really opened it.
Mm.
And I think that is the real crunch to it. You've got to get people to read it. If people don't read it, then you're wasting your time completely.
Yep.
And I think from what I can see so far, we've had 100% strike rate, which I think's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty much, that is the real deal when it comes to marketing. Right now, 2010, I don't care what the economy's doing, you must get attention in your marketplace. You must stand out and get people to put their hands up. And really, if you need your salespeople to be busy, direct mail is a great way to do that. So, hey, Mark, appreciate your time. Thanks for sharing your information, and we look forward to hearing from you again.
Thank you.